it's chewy. What's this? And then she started laughing and she was like, Deidre, you just had escargot. And I was like, I just ate snails. Okay, I just ate snails. This is episode 3 of Stories from Wonderland. We're talking about the weirdest food that I've eaten so far. I have a food allergy. It's to chamomile, so I can't have chamomile tea or anything of the sort really. That's like, well, I have tons of food sensitivities, but usually when I'm traveling I ignore them. So I just get like a bellyache. And let me just say, I remember I was given this thing that looked, this plate from a friend with was this sauce. It was very garlicky, and at first I actually thought it was mushrooms, and I was like, ooh, garlic, mushrooms in garlic sauce is going to be yummy, right? And so I took it and I had my plate and I had like a big fork, and I just like took like 3 or 4 chunks of the mushrooms and I put it in my mouth, and it was just like, the sauce was so good, right? And as they're chewing and chewing, I was like, why is this so squishy? What's going on? Why is it not like breaking apart? Is this mushrooms? Talked to my friend, I was like, is this mushrooms? And she was like, well, you know, how does it taste? And I was like, it's good, but it's chewy. What's this? And then she started laughing and she was like, Deidre, you just had escargot. And I was like, I just ate snails. Okay, I just ate snails. And then I was almost about to like spit it out pretty much. But then I was like, but it tastes kind of good and I like this garlic sauce. So like, why am I spitting this out? And so I just kind of like, so how you eat it, like chewing and black? So how you eat this thing? She's like, well, you can swallow now, you can swallow now. So I swallowed it, and that was my first time eating escargot. After that, I was in France for this. Hi from Brazil, hi from Jamaica. So that was when I was in France, and one of the things with eating escargot in France is you can't find them in the supermarket, but it's also like a big thing when you go to Christmas markets. There's usually like somebody selling like escargot in like nice creamy garlic sauce. And so during Christmas time, I would always go like hunting, are there escargots, what's going on? And so I would have snails usually at Christmas time. What else have I eaten? So, and for anybody, I actually have some photos. So for anybody who is wondering what escargot looks like, it's like this. What am I doing? Are you able to see? So good, so good. This is from France. I think the weirdest food I would say that I've eaten so far is horse meat. And that was a trip at a supermarket. I was just like, I was in the south of France and I was going shopping, my usual weekly shopping. And I saw this meat in the freezer, in like the freezer section. And it was like really red. And I was like, is this beef? I was like, what is, but I don't like beef, right? And I was like, what is this? What is this? What is this? And I looked on the package and I saw cheval. Cheval is the French for horse, right? But this was like in my early days, like when I first moved, I was still struggling with the language. And I was like, nah, it can't be horse, it can't be cheval. Like it means like something else. And so I went home and I came back, and every time I would go to the supermarket, I would see cheval. And I was like, what's going on? So one day I had one of my went shopping with one of my other friends. We went shopping together, and I was like, is this horse meat? Like, is this cheval? She's like, oh yeah, oh my god, there's cheval. It's been a long time. So cheval is, so horse meat is actually one of the meats that they eat in the south of France. Fun fact, they don't eat oxtail in France. It's like the weirdest thing, but they eat horse meat. And so I was like, ooh, and so I decided that I was going to try it. So I took it myself, buy a piece of cheval, and of course Google is your friend. Google on the internet how to make like cheval stew or some things, and I ended up making it. I didn't really quite like it, but I think part of it is, how does cheval taste? It tastes really gamey, kind of like beef times, I don't know, beef times 4. It wasn't my favorite thing because, like I said, I don't really like beef, and I'm the one that cooked it, so I'm pretty sure I probably made a mess of things. But I took it myself, and I decided I was going to buy horse meat from the supermarket. Oh, speaking of beef tasting meat, one that I really, really love, oh my god, and I don't like beef, but it tastes like this scrumptious veal. Sorry for the veal industry, like they're bad, but the meat tastes good. But like it tastes so good. It's ostrich meat. So I had ostrich meat in Colombia, and oh my, ostrich is like the finest beef you could ever find. It was so succulent. It was so soft. It was amazing. And the egg, after I had the egg, I didn't love the egg too much. I preferred the meat over the egg, and so I had ostrich meat when I went to Colombia. I don't have a picture of ostrich meat, but I do have a picture of horse meat. See if I can find that. And so yeah, it does look quite like, this is horse, cheval. It does look quite like beef, but as you can see, it's a lot more red. Andrew, did you say meat eaters over here? Oh, my vegan friend. Okay, for the vegans, there is a drink that is actually quite traditional in Colombia. It's called chicha, and it's a fermented corn liquor, and it's kind of like fizzy. Oh, it tastes so good. I don't even know what can I don't know what to explain. Anybody send me a beer or a drink emoji if you've had Smirnoff Ice's guarana flavor. Against alcoholic beverage. If you've had like the Smirnoff Ice guarana flavor, I feel like chicha might have a sort of similar taste. I love the guarana and I love chicha. It's for me, based on my repertoire of drinks that I've had, I think that might be a similar taste for chicha. Oh, it's so good, and it's vegan, so you know, vegan, vegetarian, lots of things. I actually forget how they make chicha. So I went to the Zipaquira salt mine, and upon entrance, they give you a shot of chicha drink, which is really, really quite traditional. A lot of indigenous Colombians would have chicha. Let me show you. It looks something like this. This is chicha. Alright, what's next on my list? So what we did, I've had horse meat, cheval, escargot, which is snail, chicha. What else did I say? I have my list here. I've also had frog legs. What else? Frog, which is, I guess they call it like spring chicken, but frog legs is really yummy. It just tastes like chicken. Like there's no huge. I don't see the big deal why people get all crazy like, oh my god, frog! It tastes like chicken, so I just munch on it like chicken wings. And let me show you a photo. See, it looks just like chicken wings. Spring chicken. It looks just like chicken wings. So I just munch on that, right? I actually had spring chicken in Jamaica. So I didn't travel. I had spring chicken when I was like a little girl, maybe 10 or something, in Jamaica. That's when I first had spring chicken. So I didn't travel anywhere. I've had rabbit too. Rabbit is one of my favorite things. Candice, do you like rabbit? Tell me if you like rabbit. Anybody else? It looked like chicken. The frog legs look like chicken. Anybody else have had rabbit meat? Candice, do you like rabbit meat? I love rabbit meat. Tell me if, like for me, rabbit meat, it tastes like a milky, creamy chicken. Don't you find? Like milky chicken. That's what rabbit meat tastes like. So I used to like legit. When I was living in France, I would buy rabbit meat all the time. My landlord, who's like my adopted parents in France, every time they would go and they would bring back rabbit meat for me. Octopus. Oh, I forgot octopus. Oh, octopus is weird. Oh, okay. So I'm eating squid and octopus all day, every day. I forgot this was not. This was actually not one of my weird things. I forgot that this can be considered weird for some people. So octopus is yummy. Calamari, squid is also like so good. Every time when I was at university, because I studied in France, at university when they had calamari on the menu and the lunch menu at the canteen, I was like running because I need to make sure that I get it because it was good. It was good. It's good. Let me see. What else do I have on my list? Oh. Exactly, it tastes like creamy chicken. What else did I have? I'm looking at my list. Oh, I've had blood sausage. It's called boudin. Well, boudin in France. But I find like a lot of cultures eat blood sausage. So my Irish friend eats blood sausage. You can get it in like all over Europe. You also eat blood sausage in when I was in Colombia quite a bit. I forgot the name for it in Colombia, but yeah. So I like blood sausage when it's really warm. If it's getting on the cold or room temperature side, it gets a little tricky, and I'm just like, maybe not, pass. But having it with some like scalloped potatoes is really good. So good, so good. So yes, blood sausage, like actual blood in the sausage. Yes, blood sausage. It's good. Oh, let me see if I have a picture. I do have a picture of the blood sausage. Let me see if I can find it. Ta-da! It's good. It's good. You have to trust me. It's good. I think one of the last things I want to talk about are two things. Eclectic, I know you eat everything. No, it tastes good warm. If you have it warm, it'll be good. I'm sure it don't taste gross. Eclectic, I promise you. The last thing, which for me is not necessarily weird, it's more like a cultural thing, is that in Colombia, they drink in Jamaica we have cocoa tea, so chocolate tea. They drink chocolate tea with cheese, so they drop cheese in the chocolate tea. It's not my favorite thing, and it kind of like melts and it gets like stretchy. So Colombian cheese is sort of, it's not like it's not cheddar cheese. It's kind of like between Emmental. What's the word for Emmental in English? Emmental. So I don't know. I don't know the English for Emmental. White cheese, like American white Swiss cheese, whatever. Emmental. It's like between a Emmental and a mozzarella. Did you just say it looks like donkey testicles? What do you ask? Where did I go? Are you seeing me? I think I just made the screen go bad. Did you like the cheese with chocolate and tea is not the business? Stop cutting us. It's true. Cheese in the chocolate tea, like that's what they do, right? That's really what they do every morning. This is like typical Colombian breakfast. How did you like the chocolate with the cheese? Actually, we're gonna talk about the candies in our second half. So hold your thoughts. I think I want you to join the chat. The last thing I want to say though is food is so quite cultural, right? And everybody has like weird things or taboo things in each of their cultures. So for example, in Jamaica, we eat oxtail, and oxtail is like this luxury meat. You have to pay how much money, and you only eat it like for Sunday dinner and be like all special and everything. But in France, they don't eat oxtail, like the tail of the cow, they throw it away, it's garbage. So, or they feed other animals or whatever with it. So in France, I could get oxtail for like a kilo, 2 kilo oxtail, which is what, about 4 pounds of oxtail for like €7. I just need to talk to the butcher, and I'm like, oh, okay, sure, €7, it's €7 is like, I don't know, $700 for 4 pounds of oxtail. but then you can find horse meat in the supermarket, or escargot in the supermarket. We eat a lot of goat meat, but they don't eat goat meat in France, for example. So all of their mutton is the meat from the sheep. I have a funny story about goat meat. So remember I told you my landlord is like one of my guardian angels. We're really close friends, and she always wants to try Jamaican food. And so I was telling her about goat meat, and she's like, ooh, you need to try it. And so one day, I think it was like a Saturday morning, I'm a night person, so I wake up really late. This was like 9 o'clock. And the phone just kept on, my cell phone just kept on ringing. And I'm like, I don't want to get it. And get fit for spring, Candice. And I was like, I don't want to get this out. I don't want to get it. Finally, I looked and I saw it was my landlord, and I was like, okay, she's calling so many times, maybe I should like pick up. So I pick up and I started like, hello, because I'm sleeping. And she was like, oh, salut Didri, bonjour. Like, are you sleeping? And I'm like, yeah, tell me what's up. And she's like, so I went to the supermarket, and I found goat meat. If I buy the goat meat, would you make curry goat for us? So I was like, okay, sure, if you buy the meat. I thought, okay, cool. She's like, all right, talk to you later, bye, au revoir. Hang up the phone. I go back to sleep, everything tranquille, calm, no big deal. Wake up, it's afternoon, she come over. Then so she's like, oh, Deidre, here's the meat. The woman bring literally 8 kilos of goat meat. 8 kilo, yes. 8 kilos is like 15 pounds of goat meat. I was like, what are you're supposed to cook all of this? And she's like, oh, we can put some, you cook it and we can put some in the freezer. And I'm like, why did you buy so much? So she was like, well, it's only half of a kid. So she literally bought half of a the baby goats are called kids. She bought half of a kid of goat meat for me to eat it, to cook it so that she can eat it, right? And she's like, it's only half of a kid, it'll be fine. And she was like, I had to get it, because I was at the supermarket, and I was like going around, and then I saw just a whole bunch of black people at the butchers, and I was like, this has to be something that Deidre is going to be interested in. And she's like, I knew they were from the Caribbean, because the French West Indies, so they're called Antillais. She's like, I knew they were Antillais. They were not, from their accents I could tell that they were not from Africa, from the African diaspora. They were like from the Caribbean. And she's like, this is definitely Deidre. So I kept on walking around, looking, tiptoeing, because she's like this tiny woman. And I was like jumping over to see what's going on. And then I heard them say mouton, and I heard it, and it was goat meat. And I was like, yes, I'm getting this. That's why I was calling you so much, Deidre. That's why I was calling you so much. I was like, so I just squeeze my way through. I just pop my head up, and I was like, I'll take 8 kilos. Give me that. What's left? And what was left was half of a kid. And so she grabbed it, and everybody literally was looking at her like, why this white woman want goat meat, and buying up all of the goat meat. So she bought all the goat meat for me and for herself, because she really loved Jamaican food. But she bought all the goat meat so that she had to make sure that I could get it and eat it. And that was my story of how I cooked goat meat in France. Okay, so we're gonna go into the second half of the live chat. Thanks so much for watching so far, and if you've had any, well, Candice is gonna start, but just let me know in the comments if you've eaten like any other weird food or non-typical food that you'd find in Jamaica, or if you have like questions. So Candice, get ready. Can you disappear on me? Yay!
Hi. So,
Okay. So Candy, you had Colombian chocolate and cream. Where did you have it?
Deidre?
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay, yeah. So I had the chocolate tea with cheese.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It was good. It was different because
You had it in Colombia?
No, actually, I had it in New York. I had met some Colombians there, and they said you should try this. I was like, all right, and yeah, it was different, but it was good. when I had pulled the cheese, I said to myself, this is usually what you find on pizza. You don't see the stretchy cheese coming out of your chocolate tea, you know? And it was so novel to me, but I thoroughly enjoyed it and I had two. So would I try it again? Yes, I would. But I can't make it a habit because dairy isn't a friend of mine, you know. But at the same time, you know, you make a few exceptions here and there, and that's one thing I make an exception for.
It was there all throughout Colombia and the year there, and which is not something I could get into. I don't think I actually like Colombian snacks too much. I do have a blog where I did talk about the 7 Colombian foods that I really love, so you guys can check that out. Are there any other like weird food? Let's just do one more. Any other weird food you had so far, Candice? You said you had octopus.
Yes, I did. It was good.
It was chewy.
Right? Yeah, it was chewy, but I never mind it at all. At all.
Did you eat it in like Chinese food or?
No, it was cooked by itself in some kind of weird but tasty sauce. I find that the foods that are pretty weird to me are often done in the sweetest or the tangiest type of sauce to make it even more delectable. I don't know if I'd try it again, but that one time it did go on good. So yeah.
Where did you eat it? In Jamaica?
In Jamaica, yeah. One of my uncles, he used to be a chef and he was trying out different types of dishes. So I was like his tester.
If you need a tester, you can treat me. I'm ready. So ready.
All right. Yeah, man. I can do that.
Right. Thanks so much, Candice.
No problem.
Okay, guys. So that was my session. I do just have a quick. So again, this is pizza, Colombian fermented. This is actually the Colombian chocolate and cheese with buñuelo. This is my favorite. So is it a buñuelo? Nah, it's just bread. Just Colombian bread. Escargot, snails, frog legs or spring chicken, cheval, horse meat. This is rabbit. Oh crap! This is sardines in a whiskey sauce. It's disgusting. Don't try it. Definitely not my fave. Alright, so we're gonna end here, guys. Thanks so much for watching and see you next week. Actually, next week's topic is gonna be Colombians say the darndest things, Colombian kids. So I spent 1 year teaching French to Colombian kids, and trust me, we have some stories. They told me some really strange, funny things. Hi, Steven. So next week it's Colombian kids say the darndest things. See you next week, Wednesday at 7. Ciao.